Alrighty then. Hey guys, what's up? This is Max coming at you. Alright, listen. Oftentimes I get questions on social media, on digital marketing, people trying to make money online, and they are asking me questions on my inbox. If you're one of those people and I haven't gotten back to you, I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring you, but sometimes it just gets so hectic, I get so busy, and a lot of the time what's happening also is that it's the same question over and over again. So what I thought I might do is maybe just once in a while, a couple of times a week, I might just grab my phone or grab my laptop and just make a quick video and answer maybe one or two questions at a time. I don't want to make these videos long because I know you don't want to look at my face for 20 minutes, but I'll try and make them short and concise and as detailed as possible, make them as relevant as possible and as useful to as many people as possible. So let's give it a shot. Um, I probably should have done this beforehand, but I'm going to just open my phone and just go over the last one or two questions and just see what we've got. Okay, here we are. We've got Joe's. Never mind. I won't even mention names, but here we go. He says, Max, thank you. Okay. Okay. How do you? Sorry. Give me a sec. Can you give me a second? Okay. Man, that's a complicated way to ask a simple question. But basically, he says that he has tried a number of different platforms. He's tried Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook, and he's just wondering if he's spreading out too thin and which platform he should focus on. It's a great question because it's very important to sort of settle this question in the early stages of your marketing. I'd say two things about this. Number one is, as a general rule of thumb, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to social media particularly, number one, just go where your customers are. Just go where they already are. And that means that you're going to have to do a little bit of research. You're going to have to do the legwork of actually getting to know these people, know where they hang out, know what they're into, because people will gather around. People of a similar worldview, of a similar demographic, will gather around more or less the same places because they're looking to connect with others just like themselves. Birds of a feather flock together, right? And so that's what you're looking for. You're looking to find out what are those characteristics that my market have in common, the people in my market, what do they have in common, and where do they congregate to discuss those sort of things, or where do they congregate in general. And so what you'll find in Zimbabwe, if you're watching this from Zim, and not just from Zim, I mean if you're watching this from pretty much anywhere in the world, Facebook has the distinct advantage of being the largest network, the largest social media network, but it also at the same time the smallest. So let me explain that. So on the one hand, it's the largest because it's just massive numbers of people on Facebook. Pretty much anybody who is super active online is going to have a Facebook account, and that includes CEOs, includes students, includes teachers, includes engineers, includes lawyers, includes almost any kind of person, any kind of profession. He's going to be on Facebook. So Facebook has that sort of advantage where it's got massive numbers of people and pretty much everybody has an account. So even in Zimbabwe, it's by far the largest and most relevant social media network. It also has the advantage of being the smallest, like I mentioned. So Facebook has by far the best targeting options that you're going to find on any platform. You can zero in on a very specific type of person. I want to reach people who are between the ages of 40 and 50 years old, who are into electrical engineering, who like soccer. You can reach those people on Facebook. I want to reach people who are between the ages of 18 and 25 years old. They love makeup, they love Barbie dolls, they collect whatnot, and they've read this particular book. You can find those kinds of people on Facebook. So that's the advantage that Facebook has. So I'd really recommend, sort of by default, that you at least look into Facebook as a first option when you're choosing your platform. So the first thing, like I mentioned, is go where your audience already is. The second thing that I would say would be, and this is for those of you who are a little bit more advanced, a little bit more marketing savvy, and a little bit more adventurous, would be to go where your audience is going to be. So they might not be there necessarily today, but if you notice a trend where your audience is beginning to migrate towards a certain channel, then that's a great place that you should be. You should be looking into that channel because that's the future of your business. If you look at a lot of the guys who have done very well on places like Twitter and YouTube and a number of platforms, you'll notice that most of them have been there from the very beginning. They had an early mover's advantage, and that's why they gained massive audiences in a much easier way. And so latecomers have to work twice as hard. And so if you see that your audience is migrating towards a certain channel, a certain place, and then you should be thinking about that, planning for that. I don't necessarily mean that you should prioritize it. You should put everything into it, but you should at least have your finger on the pulse, and be aware of it, and then maybe start experimenting with it, so that if it comes of age, or if you become confident that that's where they are moving indeed, then you can start going in hard, and you're going to get a massive advantage if you do that. So number one, go where they are. If you are in most parts of the world, that's going to be Facebook, at least by default. And then number two, go where they're going to be. About spreading yourself thin, I would usually recommend, unless you're like a very established business and you've got massive resources, both financially and human resources, people who can actually work on it, I would recommend sticking to just one channel. Kill it on one channel. Go deep on one channel as opposed to going to 5 different channels. Don't try and be on Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook and Yik Yak and Paddywhack. Don't try and be on everything. Kill it on one channel, and then maybe have a secondary one as a sort of as a 20% thing that you're working on the side. But kill it on one channel. Go deep on one channel, because if you can get depth of impact on one channel, it's going to be far better than having yourself spread too thin on multiple different things, because all of them have their own unique elements about them. And so if you having to learn multiple different, it's just not a smart way of going about it. So if you're a blogger, go deep on blogging, kill it. If you are if you are into some other type of business and you choose Facebook, for example, kill it on Facebook. If you choose Instagram, kill it on Instagram. Yeah, unless you can afford, like I'm saying, unless you can afford to outsource, for example, to an expert, outsource some of that work, or outsource some of that expertise, then you've got no problem. But especially if you're limited in terms of cash and limited in terms of time and energy that you can put in this stuff, just don't spread yourself too thin. So I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to try and keep these videos fairly short. Like I mentioned, I know you don't want to look at my face for hours and hours on end. But if you found this useful, please just leave a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you have a related question or a related comment, maybe you feel like I left out something, then feel free to drop your nuggets in there as well. Drop your 2 cents. And yeah, for now, this is Max Suter, and I am out.